Higher voter turnout in Jubilee's strongholds may have given President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta an advantage over Raila Odinga in the just concluded general election, while a poll released by research firm Ipsos Synovate indicates that although Raila had a higher number of registered voters in his top 20 counties, only 84% of these voters turned up to vote against the 88% who turned out to vote in Uhuru's top counties. This factor, together with the votes of those who switched their preferred candidate in the last few days, is believed to have turned the tide for Uhuru Kenyatta. Wikister Nyabwa has the details on the pollsters' stake on the March 4th election.
Unscientific, compromised and unreliable.
The last opinion poll released by research firm Ipsos Synovate 2 weeks before the elections gave the Jubilee flag bearer a slight lead over rival the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy Raila Odinga. However, when the elections came, Jubilee presidential candidate Uhuru Kenyatta would garner just over 50% of the votes to emerge the winner, while Raila Odinga garnered 43.3%, begging the question, did the polls lie? Pollsters had identified top 20 counties that would provide essential vote baskets for both sides. Raila's top 20 counties, which included Kisumu, Kakamega and Mombasa, yielded over 8.5 million registered voters, a 300,000 person advantage over Jubilee's 8.1 million registered voters in its top 20 counties, which included Kiambu, Murang'a and Elgeyo Marakwet. However, not all of the registered voters in these counties would turn out to vote.
In Raila's list of the 20 counties where he did best, he actually had more registered voters than Uhuru did. About 350,000. However, because of the differential turnout average in these 20 counties, where it was 88% in Uhuru's 20 counties, but only 84% in Raila's 20 counties, keeping in mind 5 were in both, the actual vote gap between them disappears.
Uhuru went on to win 75% of the votes cast in his top 20 counties, while Raila won just 63% in his top counties. But was the turnout enough to turn the tide? Together, the 6 minor presidential candidates, namely Peter Kenneth, Mohamed Abdubadida, Musalia Mudavadi, Paul Muite, Martha Karua and James Ole Kiapi, received an 8% approval rating in the February poll. When it came to the elections, the IEBC results gave them only 5.64%, a loss of over 2.5%. More than half of these voters are believed to have changed their minds and decided to vote for Uhuru Kenyatta instead once they realized that their preferred candidates stood little chance. Campaign activity in the last 2 weeks is also reported to have benefited Jubilee more than any other coalition.
So, on the basis of an assumption, which I don't believe is true, but just on an assumption that all the undecided in our vote went to Uhuru Kenyatta, 2%, and all of the loss from these other 3 minor candidates also went to Uhuru Kenyatta, that would have given him between 4 and 5 extra percent, taking him from the 44.8% that we gave him to around 49%.
Researchers now say it is likely that it came down to voter registration, voter turnout and civic education in the matter of rejected and spoiled votes. Pollsters say it came down to not just who supported which candidate, but how many of each candidate's supporters came out to vote. Wikister, KTN in Nairobi.